I have Elisabeth Moss in my top 5 actresses today.
Mhm.
You could zone her eyes. She acts without opening her mouth. Like she's intense. She's off the chain. Like her act. Like, all right, tell me what it's like being in scenes with her, and does she make you better?
Hell yeah. And she doesn't
Mhm.
just make you better when you're in a scene with her. She's made me better over the years watching her, like the people you hang out with, the people you're going to be most like. And so I've learned so much from her. The funny thing is, I'd never watched Mad Men, so I didn't know who I was dealing with really. So it wasn't until it was the first season, and we just done the first couple of scenes together, and I was like, she's real. So I said to her, I said, you're really good.
Mhm.
And she said, yeah, I am. I mean, you were. She's being funny, she's got a funny sense of humor, but at the same time, she knows she's and she is. She's just so good. And yeah.
Wow. I love talking about Handmaid's Tale. I talk about it on stage and I say I watch it for research and not entertainment about when to leave. So thinking back, like I look at how you guys made the progression into going to Gilead. When do you think you guys should have left? At one point in the history of it? Do you think, when the credit card stopped, when women couldn't work anymore? For me, I was like, when they started shooting the protesters, that's when y'all
Right.
should have left. But do you think about that ever?
Yeah, but it's a really interesting question about like when do you leave and when do you fight? And I think, when I look back, I feel like the first mistake is that there wasn't enough resistance. It was people like Luke's character that was like, yeah, it will change. That really allowed, paved the way for that kind of regime. So I would like the takeaway for people to be that we must engage ourselves actively, particularly in local politics, to make the changes that we want to see. I think running away should be a last minute option.
866-801-8255. Luke's character. Anyway, we're waiting right now. Also, this is an aside for the sentencing of Derek Chauvin, which I do think like we are literally in a social car crash right now. We're talking about The Handmaid's Tale, which is fiction, but you could obviously see it tip. January 6th told you something could happen. They're still planning. Hey, we had Trump for 4 years. Hey, 74 more people voted for him the second time. Don't sleep, y'all. And as we wait for the verdict, and when it comes in, OT, we're going to break and go right to it, because I think this is a moment in time in history that I want to be present for. So Smiz is watching as we speak. They've had his daughter speak, his nephew, advocates. There've been a lot of testimony, not testimony, but speaking to the judge about why he should get every year that is available to give him. Derek Chauvin, I'm talking about. As you are not an American watching what happened last summer, being in this Handmaid's Tale that is scary, but the real life that many of us are experiencing, you talk about killing protesters. Yeah, you can now run over protesters in several states in this country by law in your car. Yes. So as you're watching it, what were you thinking? Because the world was enthralled or in horror at what happened with George Floyd.
Gosh, I mean, that's a really big question. I don't know how to really put that into words. When you see the state execute, it has a monopoly on violence, on legal violence, the state. And so that is such a responsibility, and how corrosive it is to every civilian, and particularly those who are victimized by those kind of acts, how corrosive that is to your sense of safety, the sense of safety of your family. I think obviously there's one tragedy which happens, which is the murder of a life. There's another tragedy that happens in the hearts of every person who thinks, wait a minute, this system, which is supposed to, and when I think about mental health problems and stuff, like the kind of paranoia, like, is it paranoid if they're really out to get you? The kind of, it's just so corrosive. And so a lot of what I was thinking about at the time was just, how do you, on one side, fight and change the system? On the other side, how do you inculcate yourself against the pressure that puts on your mental health.
I got a question from a cultural standpoint. So in the UK, how do fans, and particularly the Black fan base, treat artists and performers who are also advocates and activists, specifically like a John Boyega? How is it? How are because we view ours differently. We have so many to choose from, and we can accept the ones who don't do anything. We can accept the ones that do everything. But last year, I really saw John Boyega kind of step into that advocacy lane, and I was curious as to know, how do audiences there view him? Do they support that?
It's hard to speak in generalizations, but I would say we're proud of John. We're really proud of John, and I think, especially in the Black community in England, these are our kings, Daniel, when Daniel Kaluuya won, and then listening to his Oscar speech, it was chills time. We have Michaela Cole, these are real advocates for social change, and we're so proud of them.
OT Fagbenle is here, and he's in the Black Widow, which I probably will be watching. Scarlett Johansson, even though I love
you say it like it's like someone's gonna put a gun to your head to do it. You don't have to watch it,
I know I don't. I watch everything because I feel like I'm responsible. If I'm going to talk about these TV shows, I need to at least watch some of it.
What's the beef? Why don't you want to? Why have you got your mouth like you've been tasting a lemon? Or
because
like
because if it's a Black Widow, she needs to be Black. Number one, I need her to be Black. I need her to be Black.
Black Widow. Let's call her the Black Widow.
Yeah, you're putting up the air quotes. Number two, the whole I forgot whose quote it was, but we have Batman because the Wayne Industries created an environment to need a superhero. And in so many ways, we have an Iron Man and a Black Widow because, those very people, foster a system of inequality that we need a hero, as opposed to, and this is just, this is a very esoteric conversation. But I just feel like for the next generation, I'd like our heroes to be, people, just regular folk, that look like us.
I got a controversial question real quick.
Oh gosh.
Because since we have you, because a lot of times we have this conversation without the perspective of the Black British actors. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's go for it.
Yeah. So and you know where I'm going. I'm going to ask you just straight up. Are British actors, specifically Black, are they better than the Black American actors that we have?
Loaded.
You want my honest answer?
I do. Yes. That's what I do. I really do. Not even being funny.
No, I don't think that. But so many of my heroes are African American actors. Some amazing actors. I don't even know what we're talking about here. There are extraordinary African American actors who inspire me all the time. So, there is a vogue at the moment. Now, look, there are a lot of great Black British actors. They're great. I watched Daniel Kaluuya get out. I'm like, who else do I want to do that? He nailed it. It was perfect.
Yeah, he did.
So look, hopefully, with television expanding and film expanding, there's room for all of us. From Marcus Garvey, the idea that we're Pan-Africans, that we're all one people, that we don't really need to divide ourselves. At the same time, I get it, because African Americans have been so excluded from so many opportunities. It can be hard to watch a Black Brit come in and take part. So I'm really sympathetic. I just want our people to be one. I want us to help each other rise up. I want us to think that there's more, that we live in a mentality of abundance and create more opportunities for each other. So that's the way I see it.
So are you married? No. All right. 866-801-8255. I love him. OT. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joriel.
No, this is where I thought you were going to go with it, Lamont. Do you have that pressure going into playing Barack Obama? Because everyone complains about how the British actors are taking,
I didn't even know that. That's what he's playing.
Quintessential. Yeah, he's going to play Obama. So it's how does that influence your performance? Because I'm a person,
wait, hold on. Obama's Kenyan.
No.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what, Karen? It's, to some extent, it does make a difference. Listen, I won't say what. There was an opportunity earlier on for me to potentially play another African American icon, and one of the reasons I turned down that opportunity was because I thought it should go to an African American, right? But that's
who's it
not
gonna
for
be?
every single
Wait,
part.
who was it?
Huh?
Who was it?
I'm
El
gonna say it.
DeBarge?
But
No, it
Howard-
was Christopher
Howard Hewitt?
Williams. No,
It was
it
Will
was Christopher
Smith.
Williams. It was.
The Christopher Williams story.
Yeah.
I'll be sure.
but I'll say this. But I do think, for
Sam
me
Cooke.
personally, Barack is someone who has an African father who lived abroad in multiple countries as a youth. I feel that I genuinely come from, as a person, someone who can really relate to that story. So Barack, I think, is slightly different from some of the others.
Sure, you get
All
a pass. You get a pass for that. But
All right.
the answer I was looking for, though, because you got Franklin on Snowfall, you got Idris Elba. You know, the only real black actor in 27 movies from America is Anthony Mackie. But I wanted to know, is there a method? Is there a
Wait,
training
Michael
method?
B. Jordan.
Michael
Stop
B. Jordan.
It. Stop.
Is there a training method? Because I heard
Denzel Washington. Stop, and his son. Stop it.
somebody
Stop it.
explained
Come
it to me that theatrically y'all train different. Is that true?
You know what? It's Daniel Kaluuya. I've known Daniel since he was almost a teenager, right? Long time. And I've seen him in plays. This brother is so talented. But what's great about the theatre tradition in England is you get to play such a diversity of roles that you're not just like, oh, you're the gangster, you're the sweet boy, you're the. Nah, you're playing the Prince of Denmark and you're playing, you know what I'm saying? These kind of opportunities really expand actors' imaginations and their experience. And I think that really helps when you're now coming to the States. Your mindset of what's possible, both in terms of range of characters, but within a character, what the range can be. I think that does help a lot of British actors.
All right, so give us your Barack Obama. You're
Right.
playing him.
He went
So
in
I
and
want-
out of it.
No pressure.
I want
He did
OT.
it a little bit. He did it a little
OT.
bit.
I like him.
Huh?
What I want two things. First of all, your American. What region of America do you rely upon when you slip into your American accent? And then I want to hear your Barack Obama.
You are, no, I mean, listen, no, you got to put me on the spot. Why you want to do this to me? Listen, you got me
Because this is
sweating.
the Karen Hunter
I'm
show. This is what we
literally-
do.
I'm literally breaking out into a little
This is
sweat
good.
right
This
now.
is
Okay,
what
number
we
one,
do.
I'm not going to do Barack. You just take it out of the table.
Let me see what his sign is. 'cause
I'm
he's
in it right
definitive.
now.
Can't be
Yeah,
pressured.
that's
Okay,
that.
Yes, that's like
The-
asking
the-
a comedian to do a joke.
Yeah,
All
right.
right, all right.
Be funny.
All right, so he's a
And-
Capricorn, so he is stubborn. He is.
Oh, yay, Earth signs.
Is he
I
a
didn't-
Capricorn
I
or
didn't-
Aquarius? He's one of
I
them.
can't confirm nor deny.
Okay.
And then, yeah, in terms of America, I've had to do a few. There's like so Luke is like a general America, and he's like, I kind of take, like he doesn't have, yeah. So like Ohio, sometimes I used to play this character called Frank, and he was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I did a show called Looking for HBO. He was one of that was my favorite American accent to do. It was like, you're gorgeous.
Valley girl.
You're absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. OT. All right. So I misspoke. You're an Aquarius. All right. So anyway,
oh, what? Now
so-
you're not my friend?
no,
Joy?
I like that's
No, look at
Oprah
Joy's
and
face. Before she was like, oh, yes. And then it was like,
Oh,
Aquarius,
yeah.
and she went,
Yeah.
Joyelle.
I dated a couple of y'all.
fine.
not
What do you
dating
know
them
about
here.
my people?
Tell them
Yeah,
what problems.
what did you
Because
find?
it could be that she's a Virgo, right? So it could be the Virgo that y'all aren't
For
compatible.
Sure. For sure.
You don't know what my rising and my lowering is. So go on. What did you find about Aquarius?
Little indecisive and dodgy. So you're a little bit dodgy there.
A little bit in it. A little dodgy in
Isn't
it.
it? A little dodgy.
A little dodgy, isn't it?
Really? I don't know. I'm pretty. Wait, you saw
Mad.
how decisive I was? No Obama. There, I was just straight. I gave you even the Obama thumb.
Straight away.
No
Yeah.
Obama.
So why though? Why though? I just want to know why because you had to do it, so it should be right there.
Listen, I'm doing it right now. I was doing
Right.
Obama last week with Queen Viola. Can I tell you something about Viola Davis?
Come
Yes.
on, tell us something.
She's amazing.
Is she playing
oh my
Michelle?
God.
Yes, she
Yeah,
is.
she's playing Michelle Obama. Lamont, you got to do some more research, brother. Like, listen, you can't be
Read an email.
I
Get
missed
him! Get him!
But that's another one. She's the only one working. She doesn't look like Michelle Obama.
No,
Hey.
this is
She's
the point.
She's an actress.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I don't really look like Barack, but the point is like it's about capturing the spirit. If you want to see Obama, you can go on YouTube. Like you know, I think our job as actors is to try and embody a spirit, but also to give you an idea behind. Anyway, the point is about Viola. She's so good. She's so good, but also she's political, man. I mean, like, we get into the chats, we get into philosophy, politics. She's so well read. She's so knowledgeable. I just wanted to say I love that woman, and she's everything.